freedom, and the fate of much of the world hung in the balance. And the resolve with which this country rose to that challenge is, even 70 years later, quite remarkable. Over the last several months, as we prepared for this commemoration of VE Day and the historic flyover that will begin in just a few minutes, several themes emerged. First, everyone participated, if not in uniform, then working in the factories.
Yeah, that was cool.
We'll start our school in democracy with the airplanes that taught our boys to fly, the trainers. In 1938, General Arnold, who was the commander of the U.S. Army Air Forces, considered this country to prepare for the war, recognized that America would not have the airplanes or pilots to fly in. 3 years before the Japanese were determined by air superiority, this unprecedented, almost inconceivable increase in American aircraft was widely recognized as one of the important factors in that operation. 3 years before the United States taking an immense difference between what it had and what it would use. So drawing on the expertise prominent in the military training, what was the pilot training program? At this time, by the time the program ended, we were trying to 45,000 pilots, including senators and representatives. The nation's top is Richard Long, and our guest here today, are the trainers. All U.S. military pilots completed a training program that was accomplished in 3 phases: primary, basic, and advanced. withstand damage and bring our airmen home. Outfitted with 13 .50 caliber machine guns at 8 different locations on the plane, the 10-member crews of the B-17 flew this aircraft, earning the nickname Flying Fortress, with the ability to fly long distances with a bomb payload of about 6,000 pounds. These 4-engine aircraft were the workhorse of America's strategic bombing campaign in Europe. Four 1,200 horsepower motors allowed the B-17 to lumber at high altitudes, but it was not a pressurized aircraft. When they had to fly up where it was cold, literally, crew members wore suits that had electric wires in them to keep them warm. They wore oxygen masks, and they would come back from missions with marks on their faces from frostbite that was created from being such high altitude and such low temperatures. In all, over 12,700 B-17s were built, remaining flying today anywhere in the world, somewhere around a dozen. It's part of the reason that we love to see these airplanes fly. Second, the Flying Fortress, 10 crew members in each aircraft. The first Allied soldiers in France on D-Day arrived by parachute just after midnight on June 6, 1944. 13,000 paratroopers from the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions made the trip in more than 800 C-47 C-3, an airplane credited with revolutionizing the airline industry. And with the outbreak of hostilities, the plane was reconfigured as a military transport. C-47s kept in China in the war flew supplies, fuel, and weapons and personnel from muddy airfields in India across the Himalayan range to bases in China. It was called flying the hump. After D-Day, the C-47 supported the Allied drive into Germany, including flying critical resupply missions to surrounded U.S. forces during the Battle of the Bulge. Here comes the C-47. After 1945, General Dwight D. Eisenhower credited 4 weapons to winning the war: the bazooka, the jeep, the atomic bomb, and the C-47. Of those were built, and about 1,100 remain flyable around the world today, some with turbine conversions on their engines. The June 19, 1943 aircraft, a big-tailed beast. The Battle of the Bulge was Germany's last major offensive campaign. U.S. Marines were killed or wounded during 35 days of fighting in February and March of 1945, and nearly 19,000 Japanese soldiers were killed. The only battle of the war in which U.S. casualties exceeded Japanese. The chance-fought F-4U Corsair was critical to the American success on Iwo Jima. Initially designed as a carrier-based fighter, by the time B-29s entered the war, an earlier generation of heavy bombers had leveled much of Germany. So the super forces were deployed to China and later to Tinian in the Marianas Islands. The move to the islands put the aircraft to within 1,500 miles of Tokyo, well within the bomber's range. and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thanks to the Texas Flying Legion, again to the government agencies that helped make today's flyover possible, to the nonprofit organizations that helped to plan and conduct this historic event, to the pilots participating in the flyover, and especially to our sponsors, including General Electric, Honeywell Aerospace, Triumph Group, and Northrop Grumman. My name is Rob Ryder, and it has been my distinct pleasure to spend time with you here today and commemorate the U.S. victory in World War II. Travel safely and
Let's see if we can bang up these areas. After you get it out of there. Just the biggest reason I ain't here. Lady, you got 15